She just got divorced. Her husband left her for a younger woman. She is 36, I am 38. Her husband is 43 and left her for a 23-year-old Swedish girl at his work. She has 3 kids with him, one 8 and 2 young ones, 3 and 4. She contacted me on Facebook saying she couldn't breathe when she saw my face again. She said I was so handsome and that she aged and all this stuff. Saw me on the alumni page of our college when I decided to join the group. I decided to answer her back pretending to be friendly, but the pain came back. I forgot about this woman and it took me 3 years to get over her and move on. I still remember her making a pact with some girls in our class saying she would never date me. That's what one of the girls told me, she said, and the other girls told her I was weak, not good enough for her. She deserves a strong man, all these weird things that made no sense. It was like they were jealous and planting seeds in her head. I still remember telling her, you shouldn't tell those girls everything about our life. If you even say something like you were sad or hurt, they will try to plant seeds. And she cried and said she didn't know how to trust well. She trusted them over me and ended up cheating, making out with 10 people including mutual friends and 2 of the girls who I thought were our close friends. This was around mid-2000s. She claims she was drunk. She tried to work things out with me, but the trust was broken. I tried but couldn't do it, so I just left. It was hard missing her and holding her and her smile. I only got over her when a friend of ours ran into me at the bookstore and we talked about old times, and I asked about her and she told me she moved on from me real quick. She never asked about me. She never missed me. She started dating several guys, etc., including one of our friends. All my friends were basically her friends as well. What's sad is I was friends with them first, and then she came along and I decided these were not good people to be around. They all hid what she did away from me and all told her negative things about me. She ended up getting married. This what she told me in her post, and said she saw me during COVID. She still works and said she was so grateful for being able to have a high-paying job during this time, and I told her I was laid off and a bum, to try to get her to lose interest more. She said her husband cheated on her, told her one day that he met another woman and it shook her. She couldn't stop crying. He left her in 2019 and she tried to fight for their marriage, but he said he got his mistress pregnant and they finalized the divorce quickly. She said she wants full custody, but he gets to have them from time to time. He said that was the least he could do for the pain he caused. She told me this was the man her sister and girlfriends all picked for her. They basically approved him. He wasn't a good-looking guy, not charming, but he had a head on his shoulders and took care of his mom and family. She told me this was the guy she chose over me, and when she said that, she started crying. She asked me about my life and if I was married or had kids. I said no. So she messages me showing pics of us together, and like everything was like old times, and I'm getting enraged. Her. Like, how the hell does this woman think everything is good? Does she not know how she ended our relationship? She took their side over me. She left me for dead. She never cared to check up on me, and now she only contacts me when she lost her looks. Her husband left her and used her. I remain calm and she asks to hear my voice. She said, "Can I call you?" I don't know. I figured okay. And the moment I say hello, she starts crying. She said, "I can't believe it. My stomach is empty. I miss your voice. I can't breathe." And it's real tears like flowing. And I said, "Are you okay? Don't cry." She tells me she couldn't stop thinking about me, how I used to smile at her, how I was so spontaneous and would make her laugh and charming. And she said she remembered the cologne I wore, everything. I am on the phone containing myself because I am mixed feelings here. I am happy and sad. Happy to hear from the woman I loved many moons ago, and sad because she stabbed me in the back and never gave a crap about me. We talk and she asks to meet up just one time. I hang up the phone. She texts me and says, "I am sorry." I text back and say, "Sorry for what?" She can't answer. She said, "I can see you in person. It's easier for me to explain." I said it's best we not meet in person with this COVID and all. She said, "No, they let you go out to eat outside. We can catch a bite. I need to see you or it'll crumble. I can't." She told me she listened to the wrong advice and should have listened to me. But she struggled. She told me she cried for days struggling on what to do. She wanted to be with me, but they told her I was a bum and will never be anything, and that I was a pretty boy and pretty boys always cheat. So she cheated on me to get me to not like her anymore. She claims that why she made out with multiple people at a party because she knew I wouldn't stop loving her, and she said her friends and family didn't like me and she couldn't choose me over them. Then me being the caring person, I didn't want to hear that. She already been through so much and her husband left her, she has nobody, etc. So I said, "Please don't bring that up. It's hurting me too. I don't want to get angry. It's the past, let's move forward, focus on your kids, and maybe some single father will date you and you guys can have a blended family or something. I asked my aunts and female cousins for advice and they told me she is a devil. She is a wolf in sheep's clothing, don't give her the time of day, this woman never loved you. A woman who loves you will die for you. She will never want to see you hurt, you are a good man, you care too much, and she knows that. Why are you feeling sorry for her? My aunt then tells me, ask yourself this, when you were hurting, was she there for you? If you were in her shoes, would she do the same for you? I said no, she wouldn't. Just recently her girlfriends messaged me and said if I really loved her I would give her a second chance. When I read that I was pissed off. Loved her second chance? WTF about me. She broke me, left me for dead, and now they trying to put a guilt trip on me like WTF. I just messaged back and said I didn't mean to hurt her but she left me for that guy, how would you feel? She said I understand, but just cause she has 3 kids doesn't mean she can't love you, she did love you before, forgive her and move on, you ain't young yourself either. So this friend who I knew as well is talking to me like this, she was one of the girlfriends who advised her that IW is no good, she hooked her up with that guy she married. So I am saying to myself, if this girl really did love me, why is she still talking to this no good woman and having her message me? Then 2 days later her father messages me saying my daughter is hurtin' here, and she would just like some closure, could you at least give her that? I am shocked again, closure? Why do I need to give her what she wants when I wanted closure? She never gave me anything, she left me for dead. I can't believe it, this is the man who hated me guts and loved that guy, she married the plain guy who cheated. Now he has the nerve to force me to get back with his daughter. This is crazy stuff, and I'm glad my aunts and cousins told me what the real truth is, and her father trying to get me to take her back after she was used up and tossed to the curb with 3 kids after this man even told her that her husband was much better man than me. I am getting angry here. How should I handle this situation? Please help. Update 1. I struggled but I had to meet her. I already made a mistake by answering her messages on Facebook and then letting her call my phone, and I met up with her. I tried my best not to be angry or show anger. When I met she was already waiting outside in front of the restaurant. She saw me walking up there, I had my mask in my hand and didn't notice her at first until she saw me. I was walking and I saw someone crying with her hands covering her face. It was her and she ran up to me and hugged me. I didn't hug her back, my hands were to my side. She was making like a big scene and people were there, and an older woman walked by us and said, are you guys married? Is he coming back from the service? I said no, just an old college friend. And the old woman said, well, she as hell is emotional for just an old friend, you guys are cute together. I was already thinking this was a bad idea. She was making a scene, getting all emotional, and people looking at us like we were in love or she was in love and they were going, ah, kiss her. I kept my composure and we ordered and waited for our food outside. She looked older, a little bit more weight. She told me I miss you and that her heart is pounding. We started talking, she showed me photos of her daughters and I said they looked just like their father, and she was really happy, but for me I wasn't. She was acting like everything was all good and I just played along. We ate and finished our food and I wanted to talk to her private, so I said let's walk toward that park area and sit on a bench and talk. I said, so what is the reason you wanted to meet me? She said straight up that she misses me and she told me to please listen to her and not get mad, she isn't good at explaining. She told me she FD up. She told me she understands if I don't want anything to do with her, but she said if I hadn't been through the stuff I did, if I hadn't been with the guys I did and married the guy the first did and him leave me, I would never knew you were the one. I then snapped on her, I couldn't take this. I first talked calmly and told her, so let me see if I am getting this straight. So you cheat on me and remain friends with the girls who talked crap about me, and you French kissed at the party and the friends who you French kissed and made out with. But you left me to die, you left me, the one who loved you the most, the one who only confided in you, the one who had nobody. You left me for dead. You did that, and I asked her, do you still talk to those friends? She starts crying and said yes. So you abandoned me, and now you want me to be part of your life again after your husband cheats on you, leaves you for a younger woman. She goes, I understand. While crying, I said to her, do you know how offensive and shameless this is that you would have the nerve to suggest what you suggested? Like I am winning some type of prize? WTF, do I get that special? What do you have to offer me that these younger women don't? You already cheated on me. You already left me for dead. You lied. You betrayed me. You still talk to those people and chose them over me and listened to them over me. And you had kids with another man. So that shows to me that you are using me, that you don't care about me, you think I am some type of sucker who will just forgive you, and she starts crying hard and is having a panic attack saying I don't know how to say it. I don't, and I am sorry. I beat myself every day for what I done to you, I do, and I then yell bullshit. You are full of it. You moved on from me, they told me, and she goes, who told you? I said it doesn't matter. You dated guys I hated. Guys we knew right after you left me. I felt guilty thinking it was all my fault. And you lie, even now you lie. You never asked about me. They showed a video of us together and you didn't even shed a tear 3 years after you left me. I am not doing this to hurt you, because I know how you are. You will go talk to your sisters, to your girlfriends after this, because you don't know how to think on your own 2 feet, and they will say the same crap they always did, that I am no good, and you deserve better, and yada yada. I told her I loved you. I wanted you to have my babies. If you had married me, I'd still be with you today. She said I know. Her sister calls her up, she is babysitting for her, and said she has to go to work soon, so we cut our meeting short. I walk her to her car, and she then tries to hug me again, and I say no, and she fights with me saying no, and I just let her hug me, and she starts smelling my neck and tells me how she misses my scent and my cologne, etc. Shortly after I get home before bed, she sends me a text message saying I will not stop fighting for you. You asked me what do you get that special? Nothing, you are right, I gave myself to others. But I never felt what I feel with you, and I fought it out and listened to others' advice, and I chose against you, and I paid dearly and suffering for it. She said you deserve to have a fresh start with a younger woman. You deserve that. All I can do is try and prove to you, and I won't stop fighting for you. I hope you forgive me, but if you don't, I also understand. That is the last message she sent me, and I didn't reply. Update 2. So I stopped talking to her after meeting up, as you all know in part 2 update. She would send me Facebook messages but then stopped. Then before Christmas she sends me a message, a text message, and then voicemail on Facebook asking me what I will be doing for Christmas or New Year's Eve. She sent me some quote on forgiveness again and learning, and some story of some person who didn't mature until later, and that everyone learns some mature faster than others. Basically hinting that the story is about her, that she didn't realize she hurt someone until she lost everything. And now feels the pain of that person she hurts and didn't realize that person is someone she should have been with. Anyway, I didn't reply to her. After Christmas, her friend messages me on Facebook and said I was a pathetic excuse for a man. She said I was a coward and didn't deserve her, and that I was weak for not moving on and forgiving her. She also said a man should never do what I did and hurt a woman's feelings, that I was showing my true colors and mean-spirited. She then said if I really loved her I would have gave her a second chance, and said all that stuff I said about loving her years ago was all fake then, because now that she is single and not as good looking it shows I was shallow and only loved her for her looks. She really ripped on me. I decided to message her friend back and told her, well, what do I get that's so special? She said what do you mean? And I said she cheated on me, left me, basically abandoned me, and never thought about me, and had kids with another man that you helped approve and hooked her up with, and told her I was no good years ago. Her friend didn't bother answering and just sent me to talk to the hand emoji and said you know what, this convo is over, you loser. It's 2021, women deserve better, bye bye. She couldn't answer when I told her you hooked her up with that husband who cheated on her. Her friends are toxic. I do still feel bad for her. She was naive and indecisive, and it's sad when girls can't think on their own like my ex. They have controlling women who do stuff like this as friends. I shut her up with the comment about her hooking her up and approving her ex-husband who ended up cheating and telling her I was no good years ago. This friend is a piece or crud, no remorse. She can't feel guilt or refuses to feel guilty or bad for her advising my ex not to be with me, but then hooking her up with the piece of crud who married her and then cheated and left her hanging. So instead she attacks me, calls me less of a man. Lol, I haven't seen this girl in 15 years, so WTF? It's my fault. Talk about trying to deflect or take away any blame from herself.